I got to take you out.
Transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadek. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Grand Rising, everybody. We actually just need to play one more radio introduction. So possibly, let's see what we can do here. We've been, both Michelle and I are meditating to bring good energy to the world right now. I know the world has had a lot of funky energy going on lately. So
what if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating.
So join us in
so if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Suson Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Suson. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Well, Grand Rising, sister.
Grand Rising. Thank you. Your lipstick is beautiful, by the way.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to tell you about that lipstick because you know I'm intentional, right?
Yes, and I think you've told me about this, and I never wrote it down. So I've got my pen handy. I'm gonna write this down this time because I remember
Awesome.
you telling me about it.
So my girlfriend, Robin Wheeler,
Yes.
who I used to work with, has her own cosmetic company.
Yes.
And it's called Fetish Lips. And I'm looking it up right now. And actually, if I do, I think I know, I'm fairly certain I spelled it wrong. But I'm going to look it up for you and also for anybody else who wants to have cool lipstick. Really, she made the lipstick. Here we go. Let me pull it up here.
If you know the color that you're wearing, I would love to know that. It's
So
just
I do, because
the perfect
she
pink.
usually makes
It would
the
match me
lipstick
today.
for Black women, right?
Oh my gosh. Yes, right. I remember you telling me about that. Yes.
So I'm going to share her site. She's such a delight. And she wrote a book. For when I met her at work. We were working together at Cairo One Wellness Centers. And we were in training together. And she walked into the room. And I was just like, yeah, I want to be your friend. Right?
I like your energy. We need to be friends.
Uh-huh. So this is her lip line, right? This is the gloss.
Yes.
And like I said, most of these were made originally for Black women. They're vegan.
Love that.
I know you do. I know. And let me see. And I asked her to make this one for me. But I do wear, the other color I wear is Black Girl Nude, which I think is this one. Yeah,
Ooh.
this is Black Girl Nude. I'm not wearing that right now. And let's see if we can, you know what? I guess I'm gonna have to check the bottom of the
Yeah.
unless this is it right
Ooh,
here.
that looks like it maybe right there.
Yeah, pink vinyl.
Ooh.
And I think she made that for me, or it's this one. Never mind.
No?
It's no, or is it fairy dust? Darn.
You better check because I like both of those.
Well, I know I have Tickle. So this is like this one. I have this one. This is Tickle. So, and looks like, what else does she have here? This is New York Nude. Interesting. That's a cool. I'm gonna have to order some more lipstick from her.
Right? Sorry about that. Sorry I got you on the site, but it's just so pretty. And I love that it's
know. And look at the energy around her lipsticks, right? It's just I'm actually gonna see if there's a picture of her on here.
It's very Rockstar like. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Look at the logo. Where's her beautiful picture? Let me see. There she is. Wait, so there's it, Yes, I want the perfect color. She'll make one for you too. So that's Robin.
Oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. Wow.
I know. And she's
look at those eyes.
Like she is tall. I know. And she's driven by the divine. Beautiful. And so she wrote a book, and I had her on the show called Take Back Your P, and then had an asterisk, right? SSY.
I knew where you were going with this.
Yeah. And she says about being unapologetically, like, don't apologize basically for being who you are.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And
I think we've talked about that before. If not on the air, we've definitely talked about it in person, personally, because I have a sweatshirt. Maybe someday I'll wear it on here. It's and it says, "I'm not for everyone."
I know, right? And I'm okay with that.
I'm really okay with that. I didn't used to be. I call myself a recovering people pleaser. I did not used to be okay with people not liking me. And yet the more that I remember who I am and embody that fully, I just understand that I am not going to be for everyone, and that's great, because if I am for everyone, then I'm not even making a difference to anyone.
Right. Because then if you're for everyone, you're a people pleaser.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're
Right.
just a chameleon. And I know that very well. I used to do that.
Well, and then interestingly enough, this is going back into when was it? It was probably the mid 80s. And I was one of those spritzer girls, and I was in
Mhm.
Marshall Fields, and I was hired by Paloma Picasso, Ralph Lauren line to spritz their perfume. And the woman who hired me as a contractor said, she like this with her finger, everyone needs to like you. Everyone.
You're like,
I'm
uh-oh.
thinking, that's a big order.
Real big order. Real big order. I think I'd have to be, no offense, I'd have to be a deaf mute for everyone to like me.
Right? Because we see dead people.
We see dead people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna like us.
Nope. Especially if we tell it.
Right. And there's been a lot of messages I've had to share where people don't like my messages. So I get that they don't like me, and it's okay. So this is
Well, the
Robin.
thing that, is important to understand is that they're not our messages. We channel them, and it's like we can only say what we hear or what we see,
Or say nothing.
or say nothing. That's right.
Which you and I have been on this show and we've said nothing because you and I both, and I won't reference the show, but because I already know
Yep.
or intuitive.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know you know. And so you're not supposed to necessarily say everything, but when you speak, you have to speak truth and not twist, and listen intently, which is what the show's going to be about once we get back from talking about Robin Wheeler and taking back.
Sorry. It's just her lipstick was so good.
Well, this is her book, and it's a really good book called Take Back Your Pussy. It's available on Amazon. And so I'm going to invite you, if you're listening and you want a really good book about, not apologizing for being who you are, do that,
So good.
take that one on.
People log on going, whoa, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about lipstick and pussy.
Exactly. So get over it, people.
Yeah. But here's what pussy stands for. Okay. It doesn't stand for what you think. So I'm going to read it. Let's see if it's here. I know it's here. Well, I'm just going to read that because I feel like the collective needs to hear this. I don't think there's ever mistakes. Just take back your pussy. Yes, I'm talking to you. And yes, I said pussy. Are you mentally, emotionally exhausted? Tired of living in constant rebound mode, moving from one bad relationship to the next? Disheartened by relationships that challenge your peace of mind, compromise your well-being, and make you feel inadequate? Tired of feeling disappointed and heartbroken? Are you ready to move from the mundane to the magnificent? If the answer is yes, get ready to take back your happiness, your peace of mind, and your confidence. Get ready to take back your pussy. Is this compelling, thought-provoking, swift kick in the ass message? Robin Wheeler challenges your current mindset, love her, and puts you face to face with your own worst enemy. Yes, yourself. Her warrior waking mantra will encourage you to wake up from your self-induced slumber. And let me repeat that, self-induced slumber, and gird yourself. And here's what pussy means. So it's unapologetically, no, I still don't have it, but grid yourself with unapologetic, and no-nonsense wisdom she has gained through her own life-altering experiences. Prepare to deep dive into your subconscious and re-emerge with the self-confidence, self-love, and self-assurance you have been seeking and longing for. Discover the truth about who you are, and as you find your healing and reconnect to your dreams, take back your pussy, take back your life.
Well, I don't need to have a coaching business because that says it all right there. And that book, apparently.
Well, you still need a coaching business because just because people read doesn't mean they can modify their behavior.
I know. But that's that resonates so much because that's exactly what I help women do as well, and you do it on the health side and
Mhm.
I do it in, the emotional life side.
Mhm.
And people need both because that's holistic,
Well, right. And so, and both of these links are in the thread now, just so everyone knows. And yeah, and that's what's so, and here's the thing. Yeah, I'm a medical intuitive and I can help people, identify and release and transmute their health issues. But if they don't change their mindset, which we both do, but I honestly would say that you're stronger in that. And the reason she's stronger as a mindset coach than I am is because I have less tolerance.
Hey, you're not for everyone.
I am not for everyone. You got a medical issue? Come to me. Got an emotional issue? Go to my left, apparently. Go to my left.
Go here.
Wait. And that's what, is really nice is that, we blend well, you and I.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because you have to look at, and I can help with that, but there's usually a deeper dive that one needs to do.
Yeah.
You
And
have to
same
look
here,
at,
I might be able to know that there's something going on in a certain part of the body, but I'm not the one to tell you exactly what it is, nor what you need to do to get rid of it. So
yeah,
that
and
is
actually I'm
exactly right.
reversing allergies. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Reverse allergies. So people, if you need sensitivities and I should not say I'm always reminded, we reverse allergies. I'll get it right one day.
We know what you mean.
Thank you. But you guys speak truth. So we reverse food sensitivities and allergies. It takes 1 hour. It's $220.
Love it. That's a deal.
It really is. Testing alone is $1,200.
Was gonna say, yeah, nobody likes the testing either. That what I've seen from that, it can be very uncomfortable and yeah, not fun.
Yeah. And what specials do you have right now? Because you've been working on some courses. You want to tell people about that?
Yeah. Thank you. I have just launched Rockstar courses. So I have 5, actually there's 6 courses. One of them is not for purchase. You only get that if you buy all 5 courses. So there are 5 courses for purchase. If you do buy all 5, you do get an extra bonus. Each one of the courses, there's different themes. There's protecting your energy and setting boundaries. There's limitless, how to manifest, which I've been a manifesting queen lately.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just
I had my best week last week. I won't announce, but we
so
had
good.
Yeah,
so good. I've been, for me, I have manifested some money, but I've manifested other things, which it's so fun. But I finally got it. And so that one is about manifesting. There's one about love, creating your own love story. There is, let me think, what is the other one? I can't think right now, but there's 5 for purchase. And then the last bonus class is about worthiness. It's called You Are Worthy, which I just feel like that one actually came to me after I had all of the other 5 courses written. And I just felt this really strong calling to channel around worthiness. And I'll never forget it. I sat on my porch and just channeled with my eyes closed, my hand on the computer keyboard, and it just came to me so quickly. And the stuff that came was like, whoa. Like, it's one of those things where I absolutely can't take credit because I didn't even know half of this stuff. It was purely straight from the divine into the computer, and it was there on my laptop. And so I'm super excited about that one. But each of these courses have video lessons. They have a guided meditation, and there's some other extras in there. I also have activations and healings in there, as well as the last piece is you get a 30-minute session with me, and it is to help. It's really around whatever the course was that you took, and so it's to help heal. It's to help move those blocks on out, and really help you kind of catapult you on your journey to the next step. So that's what those are. And those are $249 each, or $11.11 for all 5. Plus you get the bonus, You Are Worthy. So thanks for letting me talk about that. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I think I have to get me that course. And speaking about courses, we'll be, and then I want to go back to talking about both of them because it ties exactly into listening, which is what we're talking about today. My course was also channeled.
Yes.
So the functional food program. Don't get me wrong. There is content that not channeled, meaning
scientific, right?
Yeah, it's very scientific. Yeah. What the toxins are doing and yada, 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 and where you're finding them, where they're hidden, the things that we're not thinking about. But there are insights to the psyche that are completely channeled, right? That how the universe wants to shift your thinking. And they give me the insight for that, which I know that they're doing the same for you. And so now, without going into the details of that, I want to go into the details of listening. Right? So I want to let you lead. So go ahead and lead about what you do to prepare yourself to listen. And for the world, we're talking about source.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about listening to source energy.
So I'm not going to say that this is every single morning without fail. Mm-hmm. That is my intention. And it happens more often than not. That I start my day with meditation. Typically, it starts before I even get out of bed. So every day I do that because it's super easy, when you open your eyes to, do a very quick grounding. I make sure that I'm grounded first off before my feet hit the floor. And then I, as long as it's a typical morning, I will go into my meditation space. And I like to turn on some frequency music, typically is what I'm led to. Because for me, music is such a big part of my existence, that it really, even from the days like growing up, going to church, like listening to the music just put me in this space, almost as if I could be in a trance. And so typically I listen to some frequency music, whatever I'm guided to. And then I really just sit. I will I will set my intention, and my intention can be the same for several days, or it can change up, and I can have, more than one intention, but I don't have, a laundry list of them. So it's typically one or two
What would
intentions.
happen if you had a laundry list of intentions?
Typically, there would be a lack of clarity around any one thing. And either too many messages would be coming and it would be chaos in my own mind, or nothing would come because there would be too many questions out there. And so for me, I find that it's easier to set one or two intentions at a time. I really actually like just setting one intention for my day. Like, this is what I want to accomplish, and this is how I want to feel. And, the accomplish is typically something like, it could be in my business, or it could be have peaceful conversation. Maybe I know that there's someone I need to have conversation with and really want it to be peaceful and loving, and honor the other person, etc. So I will set those intentions, and then I simply sit and I open myself up. And so by that, I mean, a lot of times I'll work with my chakras, making sure that the line of communication is open and free of blockages. Get those chakras spinning so that they are in balance. When we are out of balance, when we have discord, discontent, those things in our life that can really, or stress, those can really,
discord or stress.
Right? Like, none of
Don't
us
have that with the energy we've had lately.
No, nobody has stress. But when we're focusing on those things, it's very hard to hear source. And the reason why is because our ego gets involved. Because if we're stressing out about something, we're going to be more likely to be concentrating on that, even if we're not conscious of it. We may think that we're open and free to hear, but then we might get frustrated because we're not hearing anything. We're not receiving the messages. And it's like, well, you probably are. They're just hitting a block.
Yeah, your crown chakra needs to be open. Your heart needs to be open. And then you have to be open to receive.
Absolutely.
And if your receiver is broken, guess what?
And you have to make sure that your ego's out of the way. So, it's a really good practice. And I do this in my Akashic Records readings. I go through a meditation, and one of the things that I say is literally, I release my ego.
Yeah.
And so that's a really good practice in all of our meditation, because when we do release our ego, that keeps our brain out of it. It keeps our mind from telling us things or second guessing or questioning. We just are open to receive, because likely, if we're wanting answers to something, we probably have a stake in the game, and we probably would like it to go one way or another. And so if we don't release our ego out of the situation, we can possibly think that we're hearing an answer because it feeds our ego, when really that may not be. Like, if we asked an intuitive friend, for instance, can you look at this? They may see something else because we got our ego involved.
Well, right. And when I call you for that, it's because I know I'm struggling to clear my own ego.
Yeah, you're too close to it. That happens to all of us. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
And so one of the things that I teach people, and I don't use the words that you used, right? And I say I only want to take out, I always say, infinite incorruptible source. Please take out any preconceived ideas or belief systems that I may have that may filter,
influence.
Right? Influence, yeah. I'm going to have one of these days since last night. One of those days that may influence, what I hear. And I only want to hear your voice. And I only want to hear what's for highest good. And I get really clear about it. And I make sure that my body is a clear vessel to receive their information. And typically it works. Not always.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to receive messages from other people.
Not for other people, but for other people, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
it's when I'm asking for myself. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's so much easier when you're asking for someone else because you don't have a stake in the game.
Nope. And that really pisses people off too, because like I can get like, nope, that's it. And like, oh no, yep, that's it.
No, really it is. I had to put on some lip gloss since I saw yours.
I saw, you look beautiful.
Some chapstick stuff.
So this is how you get in touch with my good friend, the rockstarcoach.org. So we're also going to do free intuitive readings today. We haven't done those for a while.
Yeah.
So if there's a question that you have, you can ask it in one of two ways. You can put your question in the thread, or you can call. And the phone number is 515-605. What is it? 9325. And I'm going to put that up there. So 515-605-9325. And we're going to talk more about active listening and taking out your preconceived ideas and why it's so important. And what are ways to calm the brain so that you can active listen, right? A lot of people have a lot of brain chatter. And they're like, I can't listen that much. So, and that's, and that now I realize why people come to us, because there's so much chatter, they can't hear squat.
Yeah. Monkey mind.
Yeah. Well,
and it makes total sense. Look at what we're bombarded with every single day. I mean, just this right here. Here.
Yeah.
All day long, if we don't program it to not interrupt us, it notifies us of absolutely everything, and it's constant. And the emails, the text messages, the social media, I mean, absolutely constantly. So it makes total sense that people have a hard time hearing.
Well, so yeah, and if you don't program yourself and program the phone. So let me go back to people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are so worried about making somebody else happy, you forget to make the most important person happy. You. Mm-hmm. And you can't hear spirit because you have stress and worry and fear about losing the most important things that you think are the most important things. It could be your wife, your son, your daughter, your boyfriend, whatever. But what about you? What about you? I'm going to go to commercial real quick. And I'm hoping that we get some questions in the thread. Looks like we already have some comments. Hold on. Oh, and Chris says, hearing and discernment are big. Yeah. So, yeah. And yeah, hearing and discernment. And I want to talk about listening to the things that are not being said. We had a thrush walk into our house 2 days ago. A bird wanted to hang out with our birds. So there was a message there, right? They don't just walk into your house.
Not typically, no.
We had a katydid show up 4 times at our door, car door, and then our home door, 4 times. Katydids represent abundance. So the universe is talking to you. The question is, are you listening? All right, let's go to a commercial real quick. And
Hi, I'm Jody Suson with Suson Essentials. I started Suson Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Suson Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Suson Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Suson. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
okay, so we're back. And we're talking about listening. And I want to just make a quick list of things to go over so people know what we're going to talk about. Okay. There's listening to those around you. There's listening to source. There's listening to your body. There's listening to nature. There's listening to your inner light, listening to yourself, to your gut. And there's more. But and I'd like to talk about some ways to help you calm the brain so you can listen and tap in to source energy. Sound cool?
Yeah.
All right. Which one do you want to take?
You go first.
All right.
I'm probably feeling led to nature and synchronicities.
Oh, I love that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We'll just both talk about all of them.
Yeah.
That's fine. So let me start with how we calm the brain so everyone can tap into that. Because that's probably, for me, that's the most important thing. Because I was able to listen if I didn't have my cup of coffee. That doesn't mean coffee's not for you. It wasn't for me, okay? But it lit, coffee and sugar. Sugar lights your brain on fire, so it activates it activates 8 pleasure centers in the brain. Cocaine lights up water. Just saying, heroin, right? So consider that You don't necessarily, you can get sweetness in different forms, right? So there's that. There's what you put in your body. And then whenever you put in toxins in your body, that also just aggravates and agitates you and creates anxiety and stress. So toxins like your cleaning supplies, if you are exposed to them, right? If they're not plant-based, toxins in food that's conventional, or, it has to be either organic or sustainably produced, and your water supply. So especially your shower water. If you're not showering and filtering your water, you're getting every single drug that anybody takes in your neighborhood. You are now showering in it. Yeah. Try that one on. So if that doesn't cause you anxiousness, I don't know what will.
Thanks for that.
And if you want to know, by the way, the drugs that are in your water supply, just go to the ewg.org and put in your zip code. So there's that. That's my very first line of defense to active listen, is to remove the crap that agitates us, to stop us from being who we are. The second thing I do is essential oils, and they're the most economical way to help yourself listen. One is Console, and I need that.
I was like ready to
send it to you energetically. Actually, I'm going to take this. I'm going to do this for the collective. Taking the energy of Console essential oil, which also has rose and patchouli in it, takes the brain out of fight or flight. And if you're listening to this right now, I'm going to put a template, infinite template of Console, over your body. Console helps you have calm, and it helps you deal with your grief. And we're all grieving, especially now. The last few years, we grieved the loss of our freedom, the loss of loved ones, the loss of an old reality. Even if the new reality is better or not better, it's still a loss. So we're always grieving, right? And then when we're done grieving, we get to be angry about it. So there's forgive. And I'm going to put the template of forgive on everybody. Michelle, I'm especially putting that on you. Both forgive and console. Do you feel the energy coming your way? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really calming, and it helps me to release in an instant my anger. And I don't always take it, because sometimes I just want to be angry at the person. Hey, I am human. As much as we are, who we are, I'm also human. So, but you can actually get rid of grief and anger in moments. And the last one I use is peace. So we're sending out peace to the world. Okay. So, that one was strong. Maybe because the world needs a lot of peace.
Is it minty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Yeah. I knew it.
Yeah, I know, because you're clear gustance as well,
Mhm,
right?
mhm, yeah.
So
Like my nose just got really cold. you know?
yes.
Went,
So okay. All right. So my wish is for that all listeners of this show receive the console, forgive, and peace. And it does help calm. It's the most inexpensive way to calm the brain. And then you and I both have BODs, which puts the brain in a theta state. We're not going to demonstrate that today. So, and that's amazing. So, and Chris is sharing. So hold on. She says, just breathe the air these days.
I think that was from like the toxins and things like that. It's like, yeah, it's just in our air at this point.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's also saying, I brought a spirit home with me. I figured out who. She's so sad that because she was hanging around, I got so sad, and all these things to be sad about were popping up. It's finally dawned in. Do you need help in removing that spirit? So it finally dawned in to my pea brain that, I'm asking for angels to be present to elevate them. Then, of course, a sad spirit will have the same impact. So we can help. Why don't we help her get rid of that? Does she still have this? So I hear that it's still there.
That's what I was hearing, that she's still hanging around.
So why don't we, Chris, do we have your, yeah, I hear we have her permission. I can hear her faster than she can type. So why don't we make Chris give our first gift to Chris today?
Yeah.
Oh, she says I have to speak with her this morning. Well, you can still speak with her, but she doesn't have to hang out. Do you want us to channel her, Chris?
Please don't remove her.
Okay. We're not removing her. We're just detaching. Think about that. You can always talk to somebody. It doesn't mean they're banished. So I don't know what the yes means. So we don't banish people or souls. We just make it so that you have healthy boundaries. So we'll move on from that then. Yeah. We'll wait until we hear it.
Oh, yes, detached, she says. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, because we don't have the right to banish people or souls. So, Chris, I'm also hearing, that's why I got all these things. I brought all my knives this morning. I don't know. I went into the room. I grabbed all this stuff from our peace room. Like, I think I'm going to need all these tools. And that's why I brought this other thing. So this is what I'm going to do first.
And she said she'd like help channeling the message.
That sounds great. So what I'm going to do first, if you have headphones on, I want you to make sure that you have, I'm going to give you a second. We're going to do a bell, the Tibetan bell. So this guy weighs about, 40 pounds. So I'm going to clear the energy first. Okay, I'm going to go now. Ooh, that feels good. Oh, one more. You want me to do? Ooh, sorry. Two more. Okay. Okay. Michelle, it looks like you're in there already channeling the message. Go for it.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Chris, can I get a name? A first name?
I'm getting the feeling she's very young, like she's an adolescent. Or it's a very immature, I guess is the energy around it, which is why I'm thinking younger.
So yes, so I'm feeling the sadness, and I'm also hearing I don't know about the age either, but that she's stuck in a very young age. Whether I don't know how old she was when she passed, but she's energetically stuck in a young age, which is this merry-go-round of crack, like this circle that she's going through, and she can't get out of the circle. Like she can't get out of the merry-go-round. And she died when she was in her 60s, and her name is Sue. But she may have died in her 60s, but she can't get out of the circle of this when she was 4. She's operating as a 4-year-old, is what I'm hearing. Is that about the age you get?
I was actually getting more like adolescent age, kind of like almost like young teen.
Interesting.
Because I'm feeling the and maybe this is why I'm feeling this like what I felt around middle school and high school, where this just, and we were talking about this need to be liked and wanting to fit in and feeling like you're having to kind of keep up with the Joneses almost. It's like that chameleon spirit that I was talking about earlier is like, it's exhausting because you're constantly on guard to look around you and see what or who you need to be for every person in your life. And it feels like to me that she lived her life in this state of trying to live up to everybody else's expectations of who she needed to be or what they thought that she should do in her life. And it was like she never lived for herself. And it's this sadness. It's the almost a regret of, man, and I feel like this is the message. It's like, and this is a message, and I feel this because it's in this space. It's a message for the collective. So thank you, Chris, for bringing this in. It's like reinforcing what we were talking about earlier. Live your life and your purpose based on who God put you here to be. Creator, source, however you resonate with it. You were put here for a reason. You were put here for a purpose. Don't let others dim your light. Don't let others tell you who or what or how you should be. Stand boldly. And that's the message that I'm really getting because of the feeling that she's giving me, as far as I wish I had lived my life for myself, because now I feel like she knows she's going to have to do it again because she didn't fulfill her purpose this time around because she was so concerned about everyone else.
Well, that's a message for the collective, because having that conversation with someone yesterday. That's probably why I got the message. It was not mine to tell. It was yours to tell.
Oh, she was feeling rejected by her kids. So that makes sense. Right on target. So many tears flowing as you speak this. Oh.
How many people are living a life for someone else to make sure that someone else is happy?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I see this, and that makes sense that, you're welcome, Chris. It makes sense that she was feeling rejected by her children, because the feeling that I was getting is like she felt like she was doing everything that she could. Like she felt she was, you know, giving and like cooking the meals and buying the gifts and being present and, you know, and I feel like, gosh, half of me is like, I hope her kids aren't listening, and the other half is like, I hope they are.
Oh, I'm absolutely hoping they're listening.
I feel like her children were ungrateful. Like they took her for granted and they were ungrateful. Like they always just wanted more, 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 more. And she felt like she just couldn't give enough. And she wanted to.
Aren't willing to give.
I'm sorry?
And the children aren't willing to give.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. And then they felt like yeah. Well, and they're not turds because of her. Like she did. She showed this compassion, this unconditional love. The one thing I will say is that, and I'm not a physical human parent, so, you know, anyone can crucify me for this because I don't have children, human children. However, I do know that sometimes parents have to use tough love, and by giving without showing any sort of without presenting any type of boundary, allows others, no matter if it's a parent-child relationship or not, allows others to take advantage, and then they take you for granted, and then on the flip side they disrespect you, and then you're the one that ends up getting hurt. They take still. Yeah.
And I was actually having this conversation yesterday and this morning with a friend of mine. If we keep enabling the relationships the way that they are, how are you expecting them to change?
Yeah. They won't.
Mm-hmm. They won't. And if you want people to show their love for you and their desire to want to spend time, let them show it. Let them show up. I mean, like, let them show up at your doorstep. Why are you running across country to go see a person who won't even pick up the phone half the time?
Yeah. Yes.
We're dealing with the parent-child relationship. And I pulled a card.
That's the door. What is that one?
It's
the card.
Oh, the card is adjacent possibilities.
Yes.
I'm going to read this. And it was upright.
Yeah, that card is perfect for this, actually. Yeah.
So, adjacent possibilities, many unconsidered options. Sometimes the force of habit keeps you stuck and unaware of potentially healthier and happier choices at hand. And yet, every moment gives you the option to open a different door and take a different course, whether it's in your thoughts, behaviors, or major life decisions. Unlike the indecision card, okay, which indicates confusion, and vacillation about which course to take. The Adjacent Possibilities card is here to tell you that you have many options and it's time to take a wider look at things. That's so wise. So wise. As you consider the many life choices available, you'll feel Sue's leaving, by the way. This is actually for her as well as the collective. I feel her energetically leaving right now, Chris. Or she's getting lighter. As you consider the many life choices available, you'll feel more and more empowered and motivated to make the decisions that bring happiness, strength, and forward motion. In terms of your goals, this card could indicate unknown and previously unconsidered ideas. Perhaps there's a marketing tool you haven't thought of, a connection you haven't tapped into, or even an entirely different direction that would be more suited to you. So be conscious, be aware, and be flexible and willing to take a new and different action now. Now, the affirmation is, and I'll type this in afterwards.
I can type it in as you say it, I think.
Yeah. Can you? Oh, awesome.
I don't know if I can do it in comments. I can only do it in private chat, I think.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, do it in private chat and then copy paste.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to sneeze.
God bless you.
Thank you. Sneeze on the truth. All right. Affirmation. I am open and willing to take my life in new directions. I am becoming more aware of my many options for harmony and optimism in my thoughts and in all my choices each day. So I am open and willing to take my life in new directions. I am becoming more aware of my options for harmony and optimism in my thoughts and in all my choices each day. We've got a cook in my kitchen.
Optimism. And optimism, what was that?
And optimism in my thoughts and in all my choices each day.
Oops. Got it.
Yeah, so Chris says 100% correct. Enabling bad behavior changes nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, hate that. What a beautiful message on the card. I feel her getting lighter. Yeah, so I do too. I feel like she just crossed over.
I had this really, after you both felt her getting lighter, about 15 seconds later, I felt like this tingling, and it was almost a iridescent, because I see and feel and all the stuff. So it's like this iridescent tingling, which absolutely could have been her being released.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she crossed over with love and grace.
Yeah. I don't feel her. I don't feel her at all anymore.
But I do hear one other thing. So going back to the 4-year-old, that's where she originally got the message that she wasn't good enough.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Oh, thank you, Chris. She's going to share the video.
Yeah.
So, and it's 9:00, so time to go to commercial. And let me just, we'll do.
Welcome to Quick Click, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend, so she decides to list her products on Quick Click. On Quick Click, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the Quick Click marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique Quick Link that she can share with friends to begin earning quick cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's Quick Link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's Quick Link, Laura receives quick cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own Quick Link and begin earning quick cash as well. But Quick Click is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. Quick Click rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new Quick Link makes, Laura will earn additional quick cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their quick cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use quick cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at quickclick.com.
All right, so we're back. I want to talk about listening again. I teach others to, and if you think it's overkill, then I really want you to listen to it then even more. Okay? That whatever you do, access source energy. Whatever you do. Especially if you're feeling off center, get back into center, access source energy, and decide if it's for highest good. And if you're not going to access source energy, then you're not going to live by, you're not going to have the life that you want to have. And some people say that, oh, well, I don't want to give up my free will. Well, you have free will to access source energy or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you access source energy, they have a much better viewpoint, vantage point about what's going on.
Yes.
So why on earth would you shortchange yourself and your life and others to do it your way when Spirit's got a much better way?
No.
Girlfriend.
I will say I struggled with that for most of my life.
Okay.
And there were glimpses of letting go, but it was very, very difficult for me. And over the past really 6 months, and I think I was speaking to you about this, Jody, offline, was surrender. That term surrender really, I was shown it in such a powerful way that I got it. But I understand those of you that are listening that are thinking, yeah, I can't do that, or yeah, I understand how difficult it is to honestly believe that something you can't tangibly see, like you can see us, or tangibly hear, audibly hear, like you can hear us. Now, I will say, when you start listening and opening yourself up, it really is almost like you are speaking to one of us or seeing one of us. Mm-hmm. However, there is this knowing that you can tap into that allows you to truly understand that the universe, God, source, spirit truly does want to give you the best. And so if we honestly believe that, then anything else rather than listening to that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't matter. Mm-mm.
Why would we want to control something that we don't have all the answers for when they have the answers? And like you said, they can see everything. We are gifted with the availability of the answers.
Mhm.
And yet, if we don't learn how to listen
Mhm.
and get our egos out of the way and trust what we're hearing,
Mhm.
then none of it makes any difference.
No, it doesn't. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Chris says, Spirit has our backs. I'm finally doing what is suggested so much easier.
So much easier.
So I'm a truth seeker, right?
Mhm.
I grew up in a house of lies. It was a mode of survival for my father. And I love my father. I don't dishonor him. I think he was an amazing soul. And just to put this in context so that people don't know that I'm not making this up, that I forgive him. He grew up without a dad. He was cleaning fish since he was like, I don't know, like 5 or 6, maybe 4 or something, really young. I mean, he was, cleaning fish to make a living and pay for food for the family. And kicked out of high school as a sophomore and a multimillionaire by the age of 20 or 21. But he didn't have he didn't have the foundation of what it meant to create a family. And I think he probably felt abandoned and lied to because his dad left. His dad had tuberculosis, and so he left so that he didn't get the rest of the family sick. And so, and of course, they didn't have access to all the information that we have now. But he was an amazing man. But he taught me, by virtue of mistruth, to be a truth seeker. So it was a gift, right? Huge gift to me. And, most of our family are truth seekers. Now, how am I tying this back? Well, I really get triggered by people who lie. So much so, I'll just walk away. I don't have tolerance for it. I don't think twice about it. I'll just walk. Some people get grace cards. Not all. And we have a caller. But anyways, so the point is, when you speak or listen, excuse me, not speak, when you listen to source energy, Michelle, what are we getting? Truth,
I'm
right?
sorry. I was reading. I wasn't listening. See, I wasn't listening.
But that's okay. So we get truth. Oh, Chris says liars and thieves are my pet peeves.
That's what I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
And me too, Chris. Me too. That's my pet peeve. Use your turn signal. Yes, I'm intuitive, but I don't necessarily always know which way you're going.
Right?
I mean, I think I do, but I don't want to take that chance to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Hilarious. And so the thing is, for me, and so if I don't call you back or I don't make time, it's not because you're a liar, by the way, because otherwise you're not in my field anyway. It's because I much rather talk to Source. Source is my best friend.
Me too.
And so that's my incentive to be an active listener to spirit, because I don't get lies. And because I've now practiced at staying in center, even when I'm pissy, I can stay in center, I can channel. I will tell you, there was a time in 2019 that I was getting infiltrated and I couldn't tell what was truth and what was not truth. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not listening. Sorry, I'm not doing that. If you need that help, Michelle or I can teach you how to do that. Okay, so we can both teach you how to stay in your center and channel and hear and do all those things. And so I'll just say that, that, I mean, listening to sources to me, like I'd rather listen to that all day long. How about you?
Yeah. I actually find myself having to encourage myself to get out and go be around people because I am just so much more at peace when I am, in meditation. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm sitting, on my meditation pillow all day long. You can be in a state of meditation while you're cleaning the house or working, or, I channel while I work,
Yes. Thank you.
That's why I love what I do too, because it's like, that's I say it's my job. It doesn't feel like a job because like I love doing it so much. So I'm constantly channeling. My job is to channel, and I channel when I'm writing marketing messages. I channel when I am, asking for ideas and what courses and what, for clients in coaching sessions or reading sessions. It's like, that's my job. And it's amazing. It's incredible because that's the most peaceful place. And when you said that, and Chris said that was such a good point that you brought up about there's no lies from spirit.
No, there are no lies from spirit.
That makes me understand even further why I'm so much at peace, because I know what I'm getting is truth. I don't have to question it.
Thank you. Right? Like for me, that's the easy button.
It so is. And because we know that spirit has our best interest at heart, not just best interest, like bringing us all good things. So even when things that we don't consider to be good, for instance, a month ago, yesterday, my beloved dog of 17 years crossed over.
Yeah.
Did I think that was a good thing? No, I was devastated. And yet I know it was the best thing, not only for her, but for me. So I surrendered to that, saying, I don't know why she was taken now. I mean, she was 17. She had a great long life.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I would have loved to have her in my life for another 17 years. However, I surrendered to that because I knew that it would not have happened because of my relationship. It would not have happened if it was not what was best for me. So I accepted that even through my grief and my sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that there are no lies, that is truth. and that I'm protected and always receiving what's best for me.
Well, and that's just the thing. There's a lot of, and I'm going to take the caller in a minute. There's a lot of funky energy going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things to activate people, to help them release old belief systems, old behaviors. Like there's a lot of people just try to get a lot of attention out there, right?
Yeah, right.
It's a behavior of theirs, so they'll just keep on doing. So there's all this stuff that's coming up that Spirit's saying, yeah, we're going to activate you on that. We're going to have somebody call you on that. And by the way, this is your opportunity to transmute that, get rid of it, release it, give it to God. And if you don't, probably not going to be the most comfortable situation.
No, it'll come back.
It'll come back.
Oh, don't worry, you'll see it again.
Well, and that's what people don't get. If you don't handle your stuff, it's coming back.
Yep. You can't just brush it under the rug and never look at it again. It will pop back up. Don't you fear.
Oh my. So I'm going to take the caller 773-450. Those are the first 6 numbers. And we're talking about the power of listening. And you can also have a free intuitive reading. So you can either make a comment about what we're talking about or ask a question. I will say this is not an opportunity, I'm just going to put this out there, to advertise your own stuff. We've had that.
Yeah.
So if that's, we're just putting it out there. It's a healthy boundary. All right, here we go. Hold on. Hi, this is Jody with Self Care, and you have Michelle Froge, the Rockstar Coach. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jody and Michelle. Wonderful program.
Thank you. Who's calling?
This is Obadiah. I was just thinking, it's so interesting because to actually help other people, you got to dig deep inside yourself. You were talking about people that lie, how negative it is. But somewhere along the line, if you dig deeper, you'll actually have empathy for people that lie. Because sometimes they're lying out of fear or whatever instead of having greater love. So it's an empathetic piece. But I do appreciate all that you're doing to help people develop themselves. If we are balanced and centered, then everything you do in life follows the pattern for what we're supposed to do. But it's interesting because you first have to find out what your gifts and talents are so you can be on point. Everybody was gifted with something. But you have to figure out what they are and develop the gifts and talents. Once you do that, then your life starts circling the way it's supposed to because you were put here to do things that help other people. That's why I think so interesting in traditional society, we start off with, I want to be successful and I want this and I'm going to have this. But in the reality of it, when you get there, you can't be about I, me, and that. It has to be a we, us, and our proposition because no matter how far you get, you can't get anywhere without helping somebody else. You can't evolve till you help someone else.
So what was your first name again?
Obadiah.
Obadiah. So you're spot on.
I sure appreciate the people. Yeah, because
you're spot on. Thank you. You always have to start with the self.
And then it was one of the things, when a pet dies or a human being dies, that's part of life. I sometimes wonder why people grieve so hard. It's a blessing to take off and come in and go out. The people that go out leave something with you. If you can tune into that, it sticks with you the rest of your life. And usually they leave the better part of themselves behind that you can actually get usage from. If you can tune into it and pause such grief. We come and we go. We're supposed to do that. So that just goes to show you that if you touch anybody in life, it is just that important, especially when you touch strangers who you don't know. But for those that have been blessed to have a dog even 2 years, 17 years,
I know. I was so blessed.
I mean, the time for them to evolve.
She
just
definitely is still here watching out for me.
Well, and I
It's a
know that
perfection. We have
Michelle,
life in its perfection if we can follow our course.
Mhm.
Once we know what that is in our mind and consciously, then we can approach it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like that's many. There's a lot of things out there that help you get to where you are, but there's a lot of things that can confuse you too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you do have to make sure you do some introspective thinking first. Just go somewhere and be still, and you'll be correct.
That's hard for a lot of people to do, though. With, like we were talking about earlier, there's so many interruptions and distractions in our society, the things that are trying to distract us. And there's a very good reason for that. They're trying to distract us from sitting and being still and listening, like we were talking about. For fear, out of fear that we will hear the truth, and it's not going to be what they want us to know.
Yeah, we have computers and FaceTime that dictate what we do. Can you believe that? A computer directing you? It's so horrible that the children in the new generation from texting, they can't even hardly write a whole paragraph, man. Is that better or worse?
Obadiah, it's interesting.
No, seriously.
No,
Look at
I'm not
computers.
disputing. I'm not disputing. I want to add to that, if you don't mind.
Of course.
So they're tethered to a device, a computer, and yet if they were tethered to their own computer, their brain, and working with that, like imagine what the possibilities would look like.
That is so true, because remember, man made a computer, so your mind is beyond the computer.
Oh,
That's right.
The computer does not have a pineal gland.
I do tech support, so we have to figure out how we're going to fix it. Some type of way possible, but you're trying to get to the quickest way to resolve it. But it's a computer. We run computers. They don't do anything we don't direct them to do. So how are you going to let a computer run your life? Duh.
So good. That's such a good point. I love that.
Let's go out in nature and listen to some birds. They'll sing us a symphony, and all the things that we can touch, even the trees tell us stories. Get outside and find that out.
Yes.
Inside, looking at four walls. Wow, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went to, my husband and I went to this meditation. There was a shaman visiting here from Florida. I think his name was Don Reeds. And my friend Philip introduced us to him. So not an ego, right? And the meditation included drums, gongs, sound bowls. And seriously, it was the most amazing meditation I've ever done, and allowed me to just release everything, for that while we were in that meditation. And I encourage you, as all listeners, to find a place in your area where you can go meditate. And I typically have always encouraged people to meditate at their home and have a place, and that is good. But I'm going to just say something a little differently today. Go out of the house and meditate. Go to the woods, go to a group, go to a friend's house, get out of your current environment so you can really not be distracted and really fully immerse yourself. And like Obadiah said, you have to know yourself first before you can lead others. And that is actually the crux of my health journey. I was learning leadership since I was 19 and quite frankly sucked. And I sucked because I was so sick and my brain was on fire. There was no way for me to lead others because I didn't know who I was. So know yourself first. And both Michelle and I can help you with that. Yeah.
Also, Jody, what's true about what you said about your experience, you have to come prepared. You showed up to receive something, and you receive more. But if you just showed up, oh, this is another shaman, I wonder what he's going to do this time. but you were immersed in the bowls and all of that. The way you expressed it, I could feel that vibe even still coming from that. That was such an awesome experience.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you receive it, but you have to come prepared to receive something.
well, I was excited because my
And when
friend Flip, if he's recommending something to me, I know it's good. So, I mean, so I show up expecting to receive some serious greatness when he's.
Exactly, but that's the way you receive. It's just like going to church. If you go to church and just sitting there listening to people, you only get so much. If you come prepared, you'll get 3 times the amount instead of just sitting there listening to somebody like you don't have to be engaged at all.
Mm-hmm.
Now come prepared to receive something. That's every day in life. And you mentioned meditation. I think we need to be on 24-hour prayer. You are always meditating. You are always analyzing. You're always in this space of peace. You need that.
Always connected.
Goes all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
People are
Michelle
killing
touched
people,
on that.
all this type of stuff. If I followed that, I'd be too afraid to step out into the world and do anything.
So, and Michelle touched on that, about be always meditating or always being connected to source energy. And so thank you for bringing that up again, because I don't know, quite frankly, a more important message than because even when I was sick and had all those medications in me, I still was connecting to source energy. And so I don't know a more important message for the collective today is to listen to source energy, which is why it's the title of the show, about listening. Because if you can listen to source energy, you can conquer yourself, right? Which means understand who you are and handle what you need to handle so that you can do what source wants you to do, which is serve in the capacity that you're supposed to serve, which is different from your neighbor. And I'm hearing I need to say this. Stop, whoever was listening here, stop comparing yourself to other people. There's someone listening and I hear them. They're going, well, I got to do. No, stop comparing yourself to your neighbor. Do you. Learn who you are. Learn who you get, what your gifts are. Know where you shine and do that, because that's what you're called to do. And you can do that with ease if you listen to God. Listen to source energy. Oh, that came loud and clear to me. Wow.
Absolutely. That's true, because even, what's interesting about your journey, Jody? You had to go through that. Who wants to go through the sickness and that? But you went through it so that you could find the solution. Now look at what you can do in reverse.
Oh, absolutely.
But imagine if your mind would have been not strong enough to overcome that. If you had to just succumb to this illness or sickness that appeared to be taking over. If you decided, no, I'm not letting this take control, and you did a 360, so look at what happens now.
So thank you. I want to say something.
Just to go out like that. No, that's too easy. You weren't going to do that.
I want to say
but
something.
I'm just saying you were offered that challenge in life so that you could overcome it and now bring us something better. So I sure appreciate everything you do all the time. I listen more than I actually call, but I just want this time to call and let you know.
Well, I didn't know you were listening before, so thank you.
I always do.
Thank you.
But what did you say earlier about ego?
Ego.
The people who know, who have the greatest intuitivity are those that listen.
That's why I love this man from Don Reed. Hold on.
But you have to listen to learn. You have 2 ears to listen with, and people talk too much. Listen and learn. That's part of being still. Because you want to be in unity with the universe, with your purpose, and just with the present. You don't want to be stuck in the past on something that's not even relevant and you're trying to do something in the present. You have to be present in a peaceful way so that even when people come at you negatively, you just divert that because you're not part of that. When you don't have that negativity on you, it can't even pierce you. Mm-hmm. You actually see it for what it is, and a lot of times you can help the person who's grieving or got issues where they're coming at you like that. But it's interesting. I sure appreciate you, Jody. Wonderful show. You're always doing it. Keep doing what you do. Sure appreciate you too, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Obadiah. We appreciate you coming on. Wonderful to be speaking with you today.
Yeah, thank you for listening and for being here and sharing your thoughts. I wanted, if you the man I was talking about, who I was so excited to, his name is Don Reed Simmons. He's a visionary and a mystic. And I want to tap into what you were saying about ego. So this man's a shaman and he has like almost no ego. And I love it. What he was speaking about, how he learned how to play these instruments, he was really just led by spirit. And I've never been trained how to play my instruments either. I'm completely led by spirit. And so you can't play it wrong if you're led by spirit, but you can actually cause damage if you don't. So if anybody's looking to find a great shaman, other than ourselves, who's really good at sound therapy, I put him in the thread too.
Great.
He's the epitome of active listening, and staying out of ego and serving. So, Obadiah, thank you for your generosity today. It's always nice to know people are listening.
Well, you know something, Jody, at the end of the day, we only live to help others. If you just do it all by yourself and you do that I, me, and my thing, it is so boring and it will drive you crazy. No wonder there's so many diseases. But if you share your life and just go step out the door and help any stranger you see, get on the ground where they are. Don't bring a book to try to teach them anything. Just listen. Then ask what you can share back. When you give that to them, then they can grow, but you grow because you're not so big. You're over everybody. You can get down on the ground where they are because you care. And that's how it is. You care about other people to the extent that you kind of put yourself on the back burner because they need you. They need your spirit. They need your energy. They need your power and the light that you bring. Bring it. Don't be afraid. Yeah, bring it. And you'll see something on the other side you never even expected.
Yeah, and I want to add to what you just said, and you mentioned it earlier, but I want people to hear it again. So about receiving. So when we show up to listen, right, to others, we also have to have our receiver on. And our receiver and our giver can often be unbalanced. And so you have to make a conscious choice when you go someplace, as Obadiah said, to receive. And when you're listening, you're also receiving.
You know, a point that something that came to me when you were speaking, Obadiah, was the fact that a lot of my clients, I find, really, and it's not all they want, but a big part of why they choose to hire a coach or a therapist or counselor or, social worker, whatever, is because no one in their life makes them feel heard. And they just want someone to listen and to hear them. And I think there's a distinction to make there too. When we are listening, active listening, like Jody had mentioned earlier, active listening is also asking questions, because that is what makes people not only feel heard, but know that they are heard. Is when
I interrupt you in the middle of your sentence, you don't want to get defensive like I'm doing right now. I'm doing
right.
this straight because I'm actually actively
listening and getting clarification.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly.
Demonstrate. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. Because we can listen. I mean, most people can't, but we can listen all day long. But if we're not actively listening, it doesn't make as much impact to the person on the other side. Now, sometimes, they just want a warm body, and that's okay. But most of the time, even when someone is venting, they do want to be understood, even if you don't agree with them. And I think this is coming up because obviously of what's going on in our world today, people cannot agree. And that's okay. We don't have to agree to listen and to hear and to understand where someone is coming from. We don't have to agree with it, but we can see why. Just like you were saying, Obadiah, if someone lies to us or lies in general, it is likely because they were lied to, they are lying out of fear, they feel inadequate, they have self-worth or self-esteem issues, whatever.
Or they also don't know what truth is. I've seen that. They don't even know what truth looks like yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And so by understanding, we don't have to agree, but just hearing someone and them knowing that they are heard, that's truly powerful.
It's very powerful. I was in counseling since I was 11 because I was not heard.
Yeah.
So 11 until I was like 50 something.
Yeah.
53 maybe. By the way, can I be heard for a minute?
Yes. Oh my goodness, Queen. Get it on straight, Queen.
So it's my birthday month.
Woohoo!
I was unpacking and I found my tiara.
Well, I'm gonna have to wear mine next month because next month's my birthday month. So we'll just.
Okay.
I think the rest
You
of the
don't
month.
have one. I'm gonna lend you mine.
Oh, I have one, girl. Of course, I have one.
I can't get it on straight for some reason.
Because you're looking in the.
I know. So
I love that.
So, and you don't have to wear your tiara straight. And if you do see some other woman with her tiara on and it's crooked, don't say anyone. Just fix it for her.
Just fix it for her.
Naima is saying something here. She says, "Grand rising, beautiful queen teachers. What do you think about people who are texting on their phone while they're in your presence and you're talking to them?" Great questions. Go for it.
Oh, I have very strong feelings about this. Unless it's something very arbitrary, I will wait until they are done. And it absolutely makes a point. I think it's very disrespectful. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. We have so many distractions, which is why I feel like, Jody, you heard this topic loud and clear. And it is so important because people don't listen. They don't listen. They are so distracted because of everything. And here's the thing. We have a choice whether to be distracted or not. We can choose to have this with us at all times, or we can choose to leave it in the car or leave it in the other room. We can choose to be present with the people that we are physically with or on the phone with or whatever, and not be distracted. I can't remember. Oh, it was I do a weekly meditation, and this week I was called to pull a card, and 2 cards came out for the meditation, and it was all about taking time out and being here now. And what really came from that, and what's coming now too as a reminder, is we are called to be present.
Mhm.
When we are not present, we miss out on so much. We miss out on blessings for ourselves. We miss out on giving blessings to others and receiving them for ourselves. When other people are texting while you are talking, again, it's, in my opinion, it's very disrespectful. And it tells me that I'm not as important as whatever is being talked about on the text message. And it can be work, it can be, I mean, if it's an emergency, if it's, somebody with an emergency, I bet they're going to be calling instead of texting. That's just a thought. And if the phone rings and you see that it's, an emergency, then that's a completely different story. But if you're just answering a text while I'm speaking to you, that doesn't show me that I'm very important.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to say that there's a caveat to this, because I can get called out for that. So there are times I have to create an agreement, and there's someone has to have my attention right then and there, but I have to get this other thing out. They can choose. They can either wait, or they can let me text and I'll listen.
Of course.
But like, my priority right now has to be this other thing. It's not you. But if you want to talk while I text, that's okay.
And it's about communication. That's the thing. If I'm coming to you and you're in the middle of work and I'm interrupting your work day, then I almost expect that I'm not going to necessarily get your 100% undivided attention for an hour. You're working. But if we are sitting down at dinner, or we're supposed to be spending time together, and you're texting just randomly,
yeah, that's not cool.
Not cool. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, something that I've been doing subconsciously, which is cool, is I seem to be losing my phone.
Oh, good.
Like, I just throw it somewhere and I don't even know. And then we have to
Isn't that freeing?
Well, it's interesting because I'm highly organized. I have a place for everything. Like, I'm a little anal retentive, and I'm losing the flipping phone.
Well, that's on purpose. I mean, not from you, but
From me. I'm not interested. Oh, we have another caller. Abadiah, can I send my gratitude to you for calling in and sharing your insights, and take our next caller? I think he's maybe got us on mute. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We have another caller, 773-977. So we're going to go ahead and take that caller. And I just want to just share that first. She says, many young adults and teenagers have developed this habit. How do we let them know this feels like disrespect to the person talking to them? Do it to them, Naima. So, let them show them by example.
I actually would not do that. Let's see what this question is.
I know. She says, is there a more polite way to handle phone or text interruptions, such as, excuse me a moment, there's an emergency I have to handle? But it's all about dialoguing. And the truth of the matter is, I wouldn't say just do it to them. I'd say do it to them if you've asked them and shown and had dialogues. Sometimes some people, not all,
But some people, you just have to demonstrate it. So, like, in the middle of a conversation, they're telling you something important. Pick up your phone for a moment and look at it. They'll get the message. And then just say, hey, I've tried to tell this to you. This is an important message that you're telling me. You've taken your time to share with me what's important to you. And I demonstrated just now how it feels when someone's not present to hear you, because people need to be heard. Now, this is a last resort. Like, they're not getting the message. Sometimes you have to show people how it feels, I think. But go ahead, Michelle.
I would also say to that, there are some people, and because there is an influx of this, because this is how our society is now, they may not feel that it's disrespectful. They may not feel the same way as we feel. And I hate to say it can be our age, but I think sometimes it can be our age, because we didn't grow up where we had this thing in our hand all the time. This, that we can be constantly
the extension of ourselves, right?
Exactly. And so, because younger people did grow up that way, I'm not sure that they feel the same way if we were to demonstrate to them what they're doing to us. I think it's just kind of commonplace. So that's a good question. I know we have a caller. I'd like to kind of think on that a little bit, and we may have to come back to it next time, because I may need to think on that.
We could do
Because if they don't feel that way, how do you get your point across?
Well, when I have people who don't listen, I let them experience. But they've also found out if they're so blocked, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So let's bring 773-977. We're going to bring you on. And again, just a caveat, this is not for commercials. And we're looking forward to hearing what it is that you'd like to contribute or a question that you may have. All right. Maybe not. I have a bird outside my window. Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. He's hanging on my screen.
Oh. Hello.
I hear. Excuse me a minute. So, for some reason I can't. Okay.
I agree with.
Hello. There we
I
go.
agree with Naima, because we have so many people that will text
who is
while
this,
you're talking to them.
Who is
This is Lois in Chicago.
Hi, Lois. So we didn't hear you.
We couldn't hear that. Sorry.
Oh, well, let me start over again, please. Good morning. God bless you all. This is Lois from Chicago.
Thank you.
This is a wonderful show, and I agree with Naima. People can be texting while you're talking to them, and I think it's very ignorant. I think I will ask them, excuse me, do you want me to wait until you finish texting so I can finish talking, or what would you like to do?
Yeah,
I also heard that there was a lady who said she was being set up by her best friend. She was cheating on her husband or something. But anyway, her best friend was working with her husband, and they were out eating lunch, and she's texting her husband, letting him know everything that's going on. So you have to watch these people texting while you're talking to them. You don't know what they're doing. So I agree with everyone. Wonderful show, and God bless you all. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Lois.
Thank you, Lois. You're so kind. So, I have something to add.
Please.
So, this is the bird that was just on my screen. And it's also the bird that walked into our house the other day. So this is the thrush. It's a thrush bird. Oh, hi, beautiful.
He wanted to come say hi. Do you see the birdie? You see the birdie on the screen?
What's our name?
Milton.
Hi,
See?
Milton. Oh
Hi,
my
my
God.
name is Milton.
Oh my God, he's so beautiful.
Isn't he gorgeous? He was at the door whining to come in.
Well, I think that there's some messages, like strong messages coming in here. So, and I'm going to tap into Milton in a minute, and I'm going to real quick on this thrush. Thrushbird, Celtic symbolism, a symbol of magic and mystery. They're said to be able to see into the future and know that things that we do not. Power to heal people. Let me just go here. So it has a lot to do with new beginnings. This is because the thrush is one of the first birds to sing in the springtime, and they're a sign that warmer weather is about to show. If you have been feeling stuck in a rut, the thrush is a sign that it is time to change your life.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Eastern cultures, it's a symbol of good luck. I'm just scanning this real quick. So for Greeks, it's said to be the bird of the goddess of Aphrodite.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Also associated with
the goddess of love. Isn't
Mhm.
she the goddess of love?
Yes, she is.
Yes, I thought.
Yeah, thrush is also a symbol of love and happiness.
There you go.
And I'm hearing that the thrush, well, birds, are my spirit animals, but the thrush bird I've been hearing is one of my spirit animals, spirit guides. There was something else about with Christianity, and I want to go up there. So it says the thrush is seen as a symbol of hope and resurrection, and the story of Easter is often associated with thrush because of its connection to rebirth and new beginnings.
I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. If you're feeling creatively blocked, listening to the thrush song can help you open up new ideas and possibilities. So this is a bird that walked into our house yesterday, and then it just sat there on my screen and fluttered its wings. Just saying. What are you hearing, Michelle?
Well, I just pulled my spirit animal oracle cards. I know we only have a couple of minutes, but I just felt
I'm freezing all of a sudden. Something's going on. And then Milton has a message too.
Milton took off, but
oh, I'm hearing it was the same message, like they were coming at us from all sides.
He's a talker, I will say that. We got turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace.
Wow. Yeah.
And scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you.
And this is, I think, for the collective, right? So that people have to understand they are all magical.
Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that this was give with gratitude and grace because of especially what we were talking about with Obadiah, being of service.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
90 seconds.
Love it.
Do you have another card to pull? I'm hearing. Did you pull one more?
Sure. Mm.
60 seconds.
What does that mean?
Time to heal, snake spirit. So snake, it sheds its skin, and that's healing. It is time for us to heal. It is time. What I'm getting around that for the collective is it's time to allow yourself to heal. I'm feeling that there's a lot of resistance to healing because just like you were saying, sometimes you just want to be angry. Sometimes people just want to sit in their grief and they want to stay stuck because it feels comfortable, or they want the attention or the pity, or they want to feel like, the victim. They're in this victim mentality and victim mode. And I think that this is just, okay, it's time now. Shed that skin. Is it going to be a little bit raw at first? Probably. Because when you heal, you have to look at the dark stuff in order to heal. But when you do that, it's so freeing. It's like I'm getting the vision of like when you have a sunburn and you peel that skin, like that's a little bit raw. But of course, if you stay out of the sun, we don't want to say that's a good thing to do. But this is the visual they're giving me. Like that fresh skin that's underneath it, it's like, it's fresh and it's pink and it's like vibrant. It's new life. And that's the visual that they're giving me around that healing. So yes, it might not be comfortable in the moment to shed that skin because it's you being vulnerable is what I'm getting to. But when you open yourself up to that healing, what's underneath there is rebirth and freedom.
Yes. So give yourself permission. To heal. Give yourself permission to step out of your current reality into a new reality, not based upon the constraints of the past.
Yes, 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 yes.
So you want to create a clean slate for yourself. And again, I keep hearing this. Stop condemning yourself. Stop judging yourself. Condemnation will not get you where you need to go.
No, it will keep you stuck.
Mm-hmm. And condemning yourself. Oh, someone needs to hear this. When you condemn yourself, you are teaching others how to treat you.
Yep.
So stop teaching them something that doesn't serve you. Wow.
What a great show. Love the contribution that we had today.
Me too.
Beautiful.
Thank you to all the callers, to all the listeners, to the people who texted in, people who didn't text in, because you're still contributing your energy, and we're so grateful.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful to have you here.
Thank you.
And let me see. We had a thank you, Chris. Chris says, great show. Now I want to go back to the very beginning. Here we go. So you can reach out to Michelle on her website. Follow her on Facebook. If you're here, you already know how to get in touch with me. So it's all good. And know that Michelle will be back here in November, the first Tuesday of the month.
And I'll be wearing my tiara.
Mm-hmm. When you may not want to tell people online when your birthday is. Mine's October 18th. I don't care.
I don't care. The 13th. You can buy me presents. It's okay.
So,
I receive.
Right? Yeah. November 1st is when Michelle will be here. Set your calendars now. So happy to call you my friend and sister. So thank you, soul sister. For sure.
Thank you.
If you don't have a sister, you should adopt one.
Yeah.
I did. Just saying.
I have a sister who's wonderful, and I have lovely adopted sisters as well. They're all great.
Yeah. I have lots of adopted sisters. I'm so grateful. All right, so I'm going to end the broadcast, and we look forward to having you here next week. We have October 11th. I think we have Dr. Jill Rowland from Nature's Corner Market. October 18th, my birthday, we have the Organic Consumers Association again. October 25th, I think we have Dr. Arnaud Bernier, who's really brilliant. So anyways, so we have a nice lineup, and then back with Michelle. All right.
Sounds great.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Be the love that you want to see in the world.